guiding you out, but it may kill us.
And
So
also,
if
if we guided you out a different way that's closer to where we need to go, it would be a very poor location to get you out. Which is why I was asking before if we had a map so we can kind of show her like where we're at and stuff.
Not really. I mean, like you're like sitting there and you're like, this area is the Ironwood Forest.
She would have to know the general layout, though, right? Like that would have been part of her training to become the protector.
She probably would know the Ironwood. You just haven't really sat down and been like, this is the Ironwood Forest, and she goes, we're here.
No.
You know?
Got it, guys. We get her to the coast. That's out of the forest.
And then
Yeah,
what happens to?
technically true. Best kind of true.
Well, what happens?
And
to,
probably like with Valar, she looks at you and she goes, I'm still not understanding. If you need this rose, and that's the conditions, then why do you not just give her the rose?
Well,
what
I
do you
would.
know about Latia?
Man,
But these jerks won't let us.
you made it very clear we shouldn't.
And we still value his opinion because
Why?
That's assuming that it's my rose. It's not my rose anymore. It's your rose.
She just needed Dalor's rose, and that rose would still be connected to Dalor.
Right, but once it's your rose, and you can do with it what you will.
And
exact.
Yokeg, who we all trust, or at least most of us trust, said that it's seriously, potentially world-endingly bad for her to get the rose.
Which would
But-
include the Ironwood.
But is it seriously, potentially world-changing, dangerous if it's my rose, or if it's your rose?
Both ways.
Are you sure?
That's what he said.
Did he really say that?
Then don't give her the rose.
Yeah, he said no matter what, that bitch don't get the rose.
Were those his exact words?
I think word for word, he literally said no matter what, that bitch don't get the rose.
But what? Does she just want the flower, or does she want the flower with the power?
She wants the flower power.
Technically, he didn't say.
What?
So
What's the
she
flower
doesn't
power?
care if it's my rose or your rose.
I believe so.
Okay, Beavis is a fan of word puzzles, but he's getting lost.
Either way, it boils down to I don't think we have enough time to get you to the edge of the forest. Just
Headache.
And then she goes, "Here's the deal." And who's closest to her during this argument?
Kiro.
Sure.
She grabs your hand and presses the flower into your hand. She goes, "This is yours. I'm giving you this ahead of time, assuming that you fulfill your payment of bringing me to the edge of this forest. It is your flower. You deal with it. I'll talk to Yokeg when I need to, because I'm gonna hunt the son of a bitch down and we're gonna have a conversation.
Nice.
This is your flower."
Done.
Either way, we're heading east.
And then she goes, now that it's in your possession, do you feel that this flower is different? And like she like stares at it like I'm waiting for something to happen. Like, is it gonna explode or anything weird?
Honestly,
And then like
Does she
then
not
she looks at you all.
understand that the power in it is not person specific?
And then she look. Do you say that to her?
That's what it sounds like she thinks it is. I don't know.
And she goes, okay,
just
okay,
me?
okay. And then she sits there. She's like, okay. Work with me. It has power. Until when?
till it leaves the.
Leave the Ironwood. Yeah,
Until I leave the Ironwood because Yokeg's an asshole, right?
pretty much.
So it's the same now. But it's not the same if I leave the wood, right?
Correct.
Well, actually, no, we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know
Set it
that's
up.
how
No, the only
it
thing we
works.
know is that if she leaves,
Give the
she
flower
loses
to
her
her.
connection.
Oh my god, that was like 5 people talking. What?
Yep.
So it's only about me, not the flower. Or,
Yeah, I don't think the flower changes.
but if I lose my connection, I only have my connection through the flower. I've already given up the connection. I can't talk to Yokeg or Dowlor or, and then like you see her pause for a second, and then she goes, or anyone else. Now that I don't have the flower, and then she sits there and she like looks at here like Ricochet holding this Arctic rose, and then she goes, "Hey, Yokeg, Dowlor, show your fucking faces! I want to talk. I feel lonely. I'd love to have a conversation." And like you hear this like echo throughout the wood, and she looks at you all and she goes,
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Like, it doesn't matter if she can talk to Yokeg.
Well, I think she's implying that if we give the rose to Latia, and then we boogie out of the forest, then the flower will lose its power?
Yeah, that sounds like bullshit. I think she's
That's
14
how it's
and she doesn't
sounding.
understand. No, I know that's what she's saying. I think she's wrong.
and do you say that out loud? Like I think that you're trying to help it. And she goes, it's just an idea. I don't know. But ultimately the flower's yours. But it sounds like you're quite in the pickle, and I'm trying to help. And obviously, from the look on all of your faces, you have no fucking clue what to do right now.
For one of the few instances since you've met him, Beavis seems serious. He's saying that as far as we know, we can trust Yokeg. He seems like he knows a lot more than we do. He mostly has good things in mind. And he made it very clear to us, no matter what, she should not get this rose. I'm going with Yokeg. No matter what, I don't want her to get this rose.
That's great. I feel fantastic for you. That sounds wonderful. However, now you own the rose. Your problem, not mine.
Yeah, we can eat the fucking thing. We can make some rose tea out of it.
And she looks right at Ricochet and she goes, "Go ahead." like, and she's like, "I don't know what'll happen. I don't really care." But at this point, you all have no other option besides taking me to the edge of the forest and probably 2 of you dying, or we all go and we visit Latia and we have a nice, wonderful, dandy conversation where you give her this rose because you probably don't have shit to trade her other than this, what I just gave you.
Alright, then we go into Laudia. Let's go.
Let's bury the rose here and tell her where it is.
Then how about I take possession of the rose because it's not hers until you get me out of the forest?
Yeah, but like I don't want it to be with us when we meet her.
Well, she's a fae, right?
Mm-hmm.
She can't take what's not hers. She has to be freely given anything. That's how fae work. Everything has to be freely given. And then she kind of looks at you all and she goes, "When you arrived, didn't she give gifts? Food, drink, hospitality, something?"
Yep.
And didn't she say freely given all the time? Like isn't that how the fae work? Like, I mean, like, maybe you guys have encountered more fae than I have, but at least that's how I understand fae is that everything's about whether it's freely given or not. And if it's not freely given and you take something, then you owe a debt. And if it's freely given and you take something, then it's freely given and there's no issue. And right now you're currently dealing with a situation where she gave you something in trade for something else, and you obviously have not fulfilled your end of the bargain, i.e. the rose, and y'all are fucked.
Well,
Sums it up very
some of
well.
y'all are fucked. Yeah, I still think we should leave the rose outside of her realm when we talk to her.
Alright, either way we get...
She goes, "This is your pity party at this point. Like, I don't know what to fucking tell you, but I'm telling you, this is what I know of Faye. She can't do shit to me unless I let her."
Riley starts heading off towards Ladia's and like gets some distance and then whistles for the party to come. Like since they're just
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she goes, "I like him because ultimately the 2 of you will die."
I feel like we're still gonna die anyway, but
Well, because better to go out with a bang. And then like she kind of like nudges Ricochet and she goes.
Riley starts laughing off in the distance. Wait.
Yeah.
Let's just head out there.
Cool.
I mean,
So
we're going.
you head your way to Latias.
Yep.
Let's take our last break there. Unfortunately, I'd like to get a lot further tonight, but I don't think we're going to end up this storyline. Maybe we will. We'll see. But let's take a break. I have 11:13. Let's try to make it like 5 minutes if we can, so we can dive right back in this and maybe possibly come to a conclusion for the storyline. Because ultimately, I feel that Latia will be the end of this story.
Sounds good to me.
One way or another. Cool. All right. 5 minutes, so 5, 6, 7, 8.
18.
18.